Hello guys, Fotis here. We're gonna play some more Wrath of the Righteous. So before we go on into the overworld, I was about to head on over to do some quests. I remember I haven't talked to my friend Ember, so let's talk to her a bit. The elfin, I really want to learn some more things about her, if I can. The elf in front of you is young, still an adolescent by the standards of their long-lived folk. A childish, carefree smile plays on her face, and her wandering eyes linger on you for just a moment before darting off into the distance. Terrible scars cover her body, and a few of her fingers are missing. Lol. What the fuck? A crow sits on her shoulder, observing you with its clever black eyes. You are always so cheerful. How do you manage to remain so hopeful when we are surrounded by such horror? Hope? She tilts her head and continues with a smile. No, hope is a lie. What should we hope for? This world is in the hands of demons. The gods can't help, or they don't want to, or they forgot about us altogether. The people know they're about to be eaten by demons, but still they quarrel with each other and fight, and still there's no hope. Only us. We'll have to win without hope. It will be hard. The entire abyss is against us. We can only win by some miracle, which means we'll have to make one happen. What other choice do we have? We'll work a miracle and win. Because we have to. The elf smiles broadly and nods to herself. This girl is creepy, and there is a lot of mystery behind her, like involving her, but she makes sense. She talks very reasonable. Dude, I can't bet money. She looks childish, she looks like a child, but I think she's hundreds of years old. I can't get this idea out of my head. But she's disturbed, and she's disturbing too. But she talks about hope and how we have to fight and all this, so she makes sense so far. Alright, let's get to know her a bit better. Well, they call me Ember. I used to live in the river city and now I walk with you. That's my story. No, you won't get away that easily. River City. River City. Is this Kinabres? Don't see anything about the river city. Maybe River City is Kinabres. Yeah. Why do they call you Ember? I've had many names. When I was little, Mom and Dad called me Dove, or Cricket, or Kitten. Dad called me his ray of sunshine. And when my mom was cross, she called me by a long name, a grown-up one. I can't remember it, no matter how hard I try. Then when I came to live in the river city, the good people called me different funny names, like Ember or Torch or Smoky. I don't know why. They called... let me guess. She could spontaneously cast spells like rays, and she burned a bunch of people accidentally. And then they crucified her for that. They burned her to the stake or something. Let me guess. I'm curious to see. They called me Bird Brain because I have a crow. They called me Lucky 7 because of my fingers. She raises her hands. The middle finger on her right hand and the two smaller fingers on her left are missing. Dude, what the hell? They sometimes called me Grilled Meat and said I was stupid. But I didn't feel hurt. I mean, they are right. I really am silly. They didn't mean to hurt me. I like Ember. It's a good word. Embers are like people. On the outside they are grey and cold like stones, but they're warm inside. You can blow on them and they'll start a fire to help you survive a cold night. And that's wonderful, isn't it? Ember it is. Okay. Where are you from? I think she told me. Or didn't she? Or did she? Far away from far away from the flower country. The girl gestures vaguely off into the distance. It's so beautiful there. Everywhere there's flowers blooming, golden towers and waterfalls. And everyone is like me, with pointy ears. There's no round-eared people, no short ones, no horned heads. We lived there together, me and Mom and Dad. Mom and Dad argued a lot. Dad used to say that all the good people should go on the crusade and fight the demons. And Mom said he was silly because it was so far away and none of our business. And that he shouldn't abandon his child. She meant me. But he didn't abandon me. He took me along. He said I was born the same year that the hole to the demon world opened. He said it was a sign that I would be one of the heroes who close it. Of course I'm not a hero, but I'm here anyway, helping as much as I can. Where did you go? Before we get into that... Do you worship any deity? The girl shakes her head with a wavering smile. Dad taught me to pray to Yomidai. He said she was a Gain goddess and she called people to crusade against evil. The knights who burned my dad and me worshipped her too. They even lit a fire with a prayer to her. And she did nothing to help us. But then one kind knight, alone, without any gods, changed his mind and saved me. I think the gods are the same as us. They don't understand anything and they are scared of everything. So they hurt themselves and the rest of us. People worship the gods only because they are afraid of being responsible for themselves. And the gods listen to their praise. And they become smug and arrogant and begin to believe that they are better than us. But they are no better. They are silly sinners just like the rest of us. Sometimes I pray to the gods. Different ones, the good ones, the bad ones. I ask them to stop. Stop fighting and hurting each other. I don't know if they ever hear me. But if they do, I mean, the knight who wanted to burn me, he was able to change his mind and do a good deed. If he can change, maybe Baphomet can too. Sure, yeah. Sure, because Baphomet is like every other mortal knight that changes his mind. Like that, sure. How did you survive on the streets? The elf shrugs. There are many good people in the river city. When I sang for them in the street, they would often give me coins or bread or sometimes even clothes. I shared everything with the other homeless and they showed me where it's safe to sleep, where I could get out of the rain and cold, where I could find discarded things. When the demons destroyed the river city, I looked for my friends, but I found no one. They probably all died. The homeless have no supplies or weapons or basements to hide in, and the knights won't protect them either. Knights are like gods, so self-important. They are saving the world after all. What do they care about the homeless? Still smiling, the girl shrugs. Where do your magical powers come from? These tricks? I have them from my grandma. She used to be my father's grandma, and before that his father's. I've never seen her myself, but she's very clever and kind. When I lived on the street, sometimes she left food for me on a blanket in the winter. Sometimes I feel her stroking my hair as I fall asleep, but if I open my eyes there's no one near. She also sent me shoot. She scratches the crow's beak, and the bird grumbles happily in response. She tells me shoot how to do different tricks, and shoot teaches me. It appears that Ember doesn't know who exactly gives her these powers, but you can guess from her words that her patron is Andoleta, a powerful Archon, one of the Imperial Lords, also known as Grandmother Crow. I need to look up what are Imperial Lords, I forgot. I read about them a bit a few weeks ago, but I don't remember now. I think they are angels. I think they are angels, but I remember Asmodeus was an Imperial Lord before he became the King of Hell, the ruler of Hell. But I'm not sure now. I think they are angels though. And like higher in the hierarchy too, like generals or something, but I'm not sure. Alright, let's get into the nitty-gritty now. Where did you get your scars? It happened by accident. My dad and I came sailing down the river to join the crusade. Dad said that all the good people were going to the world going to heal it. He said that the crusaders were the best people in the world and together we were going to win. But when we arrived at the river city, the crusaders got everything mixed up. They thought my dad and I were bad and decided to burn us at the stake. Dad died, and I cried so loudly that one good night realized it was all a big mistake. He started yelling at the other crusaders, even the one in charge, and then walked right into the fire and got me out. The others wanted to stop him, but he took out his sword and scared them away. The kind knight took me to a healer. I later learned that while the knight was pulling me from the flames, he himself was burned so badly that he died not long after. But I'm still alive. A few fingers missing, so she lost her fingers during the fire. And my skin is funny. I've lived in the river city ever since. I never had my own house, but I had many friends. And then the demons came, and I met you, and you know what happened after that. Aww. I will adopt her, I think. Is it really... but... Why is he so... Like, I don't know, man. Why is he so good-natured and so willing to forget everyone and everything? Even if we accept that she's a child, right? But although I think there are more stuff behind, like maybe she's just manipulating me, right? Maybe she's a demon for all I know. But if we believe her story and we actually accept that she's an eternal child, why isn't she mad? Is she a saint? What the fuck? Really, her story intrigues me. I want to know more about her. I think out of all the characters, I think she's the one that interests me the most about what's happening with her. Yeah. And also, I want to know why they try to burn her from Halron if we get the chance. I want to know why. What led him to that decision? Because I know he was the one that gave the order to burn them. Her and her father, I mean. I have heard enough of your sob stories. I don't care about you or your dead father. Talk about stupidity. Okay. Is it really so easy for you to forgive them? I'm not sure I could be so merciful. No one can say how much good or evil they have in them. No one can see into their own soul. Ember smiles and tilts her head. Her inquisitive look wanders over your face, as if she's trying to look into your soul. No one knows until it's time to check. Okay, that's all I guess, for now. I want to have more dialogue with her, goddammit. Alright, thanks for your answers. Let's go. Now we're leaving. I am alone. Where are those ruins? That stupid Nino said hanged cultist? Ah, it's not this, but what is the closest thing we can get to? The hanged cultist, I guess, eh? Party house, Topaz solutions. Despite their high standing in the city, the Tirabade family lived in a simple house far away from the wealthy neighborhoods. Most of the houses on the street are now ruined and abandoned, but this one seems intact, although the broken door makes one wonder if there's still anything of value left inside. Tirabade is... it's Irabeth's surname, isn't it? For now, let's go to places that we have a quest, unless there's something on our way. So yeah, let's hit the hanged cultist. A corpse wearing the robe of a worshipper of the Skari hangs from a signpost. It's been here for a while, but the... Did we tell... Wait a minute. Did we tell Irabeth about the Grey Garrison? Wait a minute. I talked to her. I have talked to her, but... I don't remember something coming up. Come on with the loading. There's nothing coming up. They're going to this. Okay, words will be destroyed. The Emitters gift must become a weapon of the abyss. Eagle watch. There's nothing here. Alright. All this loading for nothing. This is a problem with the game. Especially in a game like this, that by default you will want to save and load a lot. These loading times are kinda unacceptable, and it's not my CPU. Why is she... What is this portrait? It's the mod fucking up. Some bug with the mod maybe. It's a face. Alright. Let's go here first. Three hours, eh? Let's go then. Stop touching the microphone for this.
Can we retreat already?
Oh my god, what is this? Didn't see that. Ooh. We have the animals running.
This war must end.
Nicely.
Does it even worth it to look around these places when I kill the enemies? I don't think so. I've never found anything.
It is laid as directed.
A godless saint, ready to preach love. She might be a saint. Or she might be a demon trying to deceive me. But she might actually be a saint. If everything... Ah, it's not an actual location. We just collect the things and we go. Cool. But yeah, Ember... unless something extraordinary happens, I don't see her leaving my party. So far from like who I like the best from top to like from the one who I like the best to the one I care the least is Ember is number 1, Lan is second. And then, to be honest, I kinda don't care about these 3. If I had to pick, depending on who I like, between Sheila, Camellia and Wolfie, I would pick Sheila probably. And then these other 2 I don't care. But as far as who is the most useful, I think Wolfie is up there. I think he's competing for number 1 with Ember for me. Number 1 should be someone between these 2. Then I would say, because I'm melee, I don't really need her. She would be the bottom, probably. Although I generally prefer to have 2 melee. And 1 tank, of course. Like, this is a perfect combination right now. A damage dealer, a tank, another damage dealer with magic abilities, and thieving a rogue. Like, Wolfie is a cannon. Very capable in melee. He can pick locks. He can do mobility checks. He has stealth. He's I think he also has knowledge religion. I think is this one that I use for religion or him? I don't remember. Very, 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 very useful. Maybe more useful than Ember. But yeah, anyway. Let's go to the library. This famous library holds one of the biggest collections of books in the field of demonology. Scholars and monster hunters from all across Mendev and even other countries came here both to study the creatures of the abyss and to figure out how to deal with them. I think this is where we need to go to find the Storyteller. I read somewhere, not now, when I was playing Kingmaker, the Storyteller is not what he seems to be. He is like 10,000 years old.
Waver.
He's a very, very, very powerful Archmage. And he's 10,000 years old or something. Shit. Sheila, since you are here,
No glory without risk!
you go, girl. Boom. Ow! Who are we going to attack? You. Who's playing first? You and you. Let's go for AC debuff. She's immune. The spider is immune. No. Come on,
Cover me, all right?
dude. Kill it.
I'll cut you wide open.
You crossed the wrong mongrel.
Boom.
Death comes with you. Feel its icy breath.
Let's go. Lost bug. A bug with a torn strap lies on the ground. You can procure some reagents for creating consumable items. Here, let's go with that first. What do we have? Crusaders.
Can't hide from me.
This is the same music for from Kingmaker, but I like it. Crusader? This is not the face of a Crusader, what the fuck? A stocky knight with a head of messy black hair stands before you. His armor is spattered with blood. He greets you with a deep, booming voice. Ha! Crusaders! Excellent! I'm Captain Caleb Sazomal, and these are my men. I'm about... The demons still haven't entirely broken through the defenses of Canabras, but time's running out. I'm about to burn these vile backstabbers and heretics here. These pathetic imitators of the traitor Arelu, who tricked their way into the ranks of the Crusaders. The knight nods at a heap of severely beaten people, and a strange elf whose appearance seems jarring for some unknown reason. Sazomal bellows threats at his prisoners, who seem to be in a state of deep shock and utter terror. A strange feeling rises up within you. It is pure instinct. You don't know what you are about to do, but you are certain that it is right. Let's go with perception. Take a closer look at the ruthless Crusader. Caleb is talking too loudly, all while casting sidelong looks at you. You have seen similar behavioral quirks before, in liars. I mean, this face, man. You could be a saint, and you wouldn't convince anyone with this face. What the fuck? I mean, don't cover a book by don't judge a book by its cover, but in reality, Alright. No, Lan is our religion guy. Examine the Crusader's armor and the symbols on it. You notice that the emblems on the armor of the two silent Crusaders belong to the Order of the Flaming Lance. But Caleb's armor bears the sigil of the Order of the Sunrise Sword. Strange then that he introduced himself as their captain. Something's not right here, you think? Athletics. Smile politely and nod, but then suddenly punch the nearest soldier. Requires trickster mythic path. Give in to the strange instinct. Yeah, this is... but why aren't they talking? They are not saying anything, like help, he's lying or something. My instinct tells me to go with this one. Will I lose the choice if I go with this? Why do you want to burn them? The warrior howls like a wild animal. Look around you, the city is in burning ruins. So many innocent lives lost, and all because of abominations like these ones, this here. Cultists, heretics and spies slipping into our ranks, carrying out the orders of their brutal masters and preparing a heinous death for us all. They want to give us over to the demons, just like Arelu did with Sarkoris. They deserve to feel the flames licking at their legs. You come up with nasty words to use against people. You call them heretics, cultist, spies, so you don't have to call them people. Good people just like you. Oh my god. You'd feel bad for doing this to people, but not to heretics. Without those words, you wouldn't be able to burn them. Come on, girl. Don't talk. Burn them! I think I'll go with this. Out of curiosity. Idiot, stop! Heed my command in the name of Baphomet. The words fly out of your mouth before you can even think them. Some gut the music I can't say, god damn it. Some gut instinct told you that this is precisely what needs to be said in this moment. And the words hit their target. The Crusaders jump in surprise and look at each other in terror. Wolfie glares menacingly at Caleb. Didn't you know, mortal? We are everywhere. Ah, he plays along. Caleb leaps to attention and barks out. Sorry, couldn't have known. We'll fix it right away, sir. An inexplicable feeling of rightness flows through you. You enjoy seeing the look of office terror on the faces of the Crusader and his lackeys when you rebuke them for their fecklessness. Stop wasting valuable fuel. If you like burning books, go read the Grey Garrison library. Our enemies might try to sneak in there. Maybe I should send them to do it, eh? Who are you? The Crusader's eyes bulge in fear as he barks out. Caleb Sazomal, former knight of the Order of Ever-Bright Crusaders deserter. These two are my mates from playing cards, local fences for stolen goods. Reliable men. We set an ambush and caught 4 Crusaders. We wish to join the ranks of the triumphant army of the Whirlwind. Good lads, brave fighters. We could do with more like you in the cultist ranks, then our victory would be assured. Thank you, I do my best. Caleb watches Lan with rapt attention, his eyes lingering on Lan's horn. He he saw the horn and he thinks he's a demon or something. We don't accept just anyone in the Baphomet's army. There's only one spot, and there's 3 of you. Get to it, or they will fight each other. This would be fun. This would be fun. But should I set them go after the Grey Garrison? No, actually, let's go with this. It's but maybe there are you never know who is in the Grey Garrison room. Maybe there are friendlies in there as well. We don't know who's in there. Maybe it's not only enemies in there. I understand this is the mythic path, but I don't know. I'll go with this. I enjoy this. We don't accept just anyone into Baphomet's army. There's only one spot and there's 3 of you. Get to it. There you go. Like puppets. Oh, there is more. Caleb seems to be quicker on the uptake than his associates. He catches your meaning and surges towards one of them with his weapon raised. A fatal blow followed quickly by a second, and 2 bodies are left lying at Caleb's feet. He smirks in satisfaction as he wipes the flecks of blood from his face. Did I do well, sir? Alright, let's go with this now. Stop wasting valuable fuel. If you like burning books, go rig the Grey Garrison library. Our enemies might try to sneak in there. Step to it. There's plenty more where that came from, sir. I'll do everything you have ordered, and just as soon as those crusaders arrive, there'll be dead meat. Oh no 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 no! We are going to sneak there at some. I think it's our target. We will go there. The crusaders might pass through there. Ah. Just as soon as those crusaders arrive, they'll be dead meat. Oh no no no! Would not do that. All right, so I reloaded and I passed the 2 checks I had again. I really wanted to go with this one, and up until the point that they kill each other, and the last one remains. But I couldn't get out of that dialogue tree. I didn't wanna send him to do anything at the Grey Garrison because I fear we might hurt our people there. But yeah, so let's go with this. Let's attack them. Smile politely and nod, but then suddenly punch the nearest soldier. That's right. Death to traitors. Alright. The traitor collapses at your feet. The flask of alchemist's fire flies from his grasp, but luckily it doesn't break or ignite. Caleb looks at you in grim annoyance and spits on the floor. I thought I'd pulled one over I thought I'd pulled one over on you there. Too bad it didn't work out for you. You'll meet your death in the flames with the rest of the scum. My new masters, the demons, will be pleased that I wiped out another couple of crusaders.
They will break against our resolve.
I wouldn't bet on that, brother. I wouldn't bet on that. Ah, they're only level 2. We don't even need magic. For some reason I'm in a very good mood tonight. I don't know why. Doesn't happen often. So he's playing next. Let's debuff him.
Cover me, all right?
Nice.
No glory without risk.
Scylla.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Oh, she was out of... The cackle has a range. The chant has a range. I didn't think I got here. I didn't extend the round.
Feel my unholy wrath.
What level is he, bro? Oh, he's level 4.
So you say.
Stab you or zap you? Why not both?
The light take you.
And why do you only have one attack? Oh,
You won't survive me.
oh, is there another one? Where is he? Ah, there's this dude.
Death comes for you.
Forgot about you.
Feel its icy breath.
Distract them for me.
All right. Masterwork. Potion of Blair, nice. Half plate. We can sell that. Ooh, what do we have here? To collapse. Whenever this +1 cold iron warhammer confirms a critical hit, all enemies in a 15-foot area must pass a fortitude saving throw or become prone. Sheila, what do I have for you? Perfect. Sheila, look what I will give you. This is fortitude or become stunned. On hit though, not on critical. This is fire, this more damage. We'll use... I want all of these weapons. I want to use all of them. This is more damage, 1 dice 3. Piercing. 2 to 9 damage. This does the most damage, 2 to 9, 2 to 7. Oh, 7 to 16 because of the 1 dice 3 fire. 12. Let's go with this. Let's go with our new toy. Yeah. Let's go with that. Praise Yomidai, we're saved. Oh, the Storyteller. A blind elf stands before you. He looks extremely strange. His face wears its years heavily, which is unusual for members of his race. Thin in grey hair, a ragged beard, sightless, milky eyes, pale, peppery skin, covered in age spots, a spine curved by the passage of time. This is not how elves typically age. The youth that graces the faces of elves, even on their deathbed, has totally abandoned this decrepit specimen. That is an elf with a beard. I guess the worst can be found even amongst the best. I don't remember, is she an elf? She has pointy ears. The old elf holds out his hand in your direction in the perennial gesture of the blind, greeting you with unexpectedly strong and calm voice. Hello, I am Storyteller and I wish to thank my rescuers. That is you, if I'm not mistaken. Storyteller? Huh. That's the first I've ever heard of a venerable old-timer like that having a street name. Sometimes a person can lose their name, but Mama and Papa are gone, friends are gone, and there is nobody to ask what it was, so instead of their name a person can pick any word that is good. Everybody has to have a name, or do they? I don't know. Who are you? The old elf frowns. I prefer people to call me Storyteller. It very accurately describes the sphere of my occupations and interests. In most of the places I have been, I am known by that name. When I was little, my mother and father used to tell me stories, but I have no one to tell me stories now. Sometimes Grandma does in my dreams, but I always forget them in the morning. Can you tell me a story? The corners of the blind elf's mouth slowly creep upward. For you, I may have a story to tell, but perhaps it is you who has a story for me. Huh. That's an interesting interaction between him, the Storyteller, and Ember. I want to talk to you about something. The old elf responds with dignity and courtesy, but firmly. In thanks for my rescue, I of course will render you a service in return, whatever it may be. However, at this moment I wish to be somewhere safer than the present surroundings. My recent adventures have fatigued me greatly. I would be grateful if you could help me to a safe shelter of some kind. The stubborn set of the elf's mouth tells you that he won't change his mind. Typical. You do someone a good turn, and instead of saying thank you, they just ask for some help. Go easy on the old elf. He's had a rough go of it. Yeah, because we've had it so easy. Oh, hey Finian. I forgot I could talk to you, man. We can't not help him. If it was up to me, Grandfather Elf, I'd throw you over my shoulder and carry you out of here. This is no place for old folks. Alright, I'm taking you to the Defender's Heart. The Storyteller lowers his voice slightly. Please wait. I'm not the only one thankful to you. That young crusader over there is eager to give his regards, but he's too shy to approach you. I can tell from his quickened breathing. Take pity on the lad and accept his thanks. Climb. The young man with aristocratic features wipes the sweat from his brow and gives you a courteous bow. Allow me to introduce myself, brother. Climb at your service. Thank you for helping us. We thought we were doomed to perish. There is death everywhere here. Sometimes I think we are all doomed, but then death has passed us by and we are all still alive. Land looks at Ember with sorrow in his eyes. But you're an elf. You should live hundreds of years and never even worry about dying. Little elf girls shouldn't even know such words. When children are thrown into the middle of war, they learn many sad things. That is why we have to win, so that other boys and girls don't have to learn what we did. I have a bunch of weirdos following me around. Who is the elf with you? Is he a crusader as well? No, he called himself the Storyteller, and he only recently arrived in Kenabres. We often saw him in the library. He was interested in the writings about early Sarkoris and the era before that. It seems the traitor caught him in the library and decided to kill him along with the rest of us. The young man's voice drops to a polite murmur. Have you noticed that the Storyteller is a little odd? Even for Kenabres, where you can meet the strangest people from the furthest corners of the globe among the Crusaders. Have you ever seen such a decrepit elf before? Not just old, but ancient, with a grey beard like that. Elves don't tend to grow beards, I thought, and they don't have wrinkles. An elf with wrinkles and a beard, a detestable absurdity. Hold on there, a beard isn't the worst thing a person can have growing on their face. You should see some of the people back in my village. The worst thing that's growing on your face is your mouth. Please try to open it a little less often. What a cunt. Land clenches his teeth and turns away with a dismissive wave of his hand. There you go, boy. Our best weapon against cunts is apathy. So, how did you end up in this trap? That traitor met us at the door. He seemed a faithful and passionate crusader, and we didn't suspect a thing until they attacked us from behind and knocked us out. We didn't expect such trickery. Most of our order brethren are dead, and we were desperate to believe that this man in armor was a fellow crusader, a comrade. While we were unconscious, they removed our armor and tossed us on the pyre of books. What macabre blasphemy. Ain't it always the way? You start to think you might be able to trust a fella, and boom, he goes and stabs you in the back. Like you are gonna do to me, little boy? But if you never trust anyone, then soon you'll become a killer just like Halloran. That's hardly better, is it? Nah, Scylla. Nah. I don't trust anyone and I'm not a killer. Pah, don't start on that now. Fine, you convince me. You can trust people, but only one in every dozen, I'd say. And not for a long even then. For you... We are Crusaders of the Order of the Flaming Lance. Our order dedicates itself to the pursuit of hidden knowledge and magical methods of fighting the demons. We are searching for our leader, Sister Miamir, the scholar. Of course, your leader is a female. Of course. because 90% or 99% of the leaders in this fucking fantasy world are female, because, you know, it's how it is. She spent the last few weeks here, working day and night on some important research. When the demons attacked the city, we rushed here to find her, but it seems she left the city shortly before the attack began. Miamir just left the city, leaving no word of where she could be found? No, she left in a hurry without leaving any note or orders. Why? I have no idea. The only thing that may serve as a clue is this book, the one she was studying. The knight holds out the leather-bound tome to you. What is this book? My Company of Worn-Out Words, Songs of a Crusader, collection of ballads composed by a bard who fought in the Second Crusade. The first songs are brimming with swaggering optimism, but as the collection progresses, the texts grow darker and more obscure as the despair and madness slowly take possession of the bard's mind. Miamir has annotated one of the verses. Long bent fingers of blackest stone, the forbidden tree stretches out its branches to me. White pebbles dog my steps. 1,000 piercing eyes on bare frosted ground. The winter sun's rays caress the runes. Ancient symbols burn on hardened bark. Secrets crusted over with white lichen, and the white fog steals over my weary mind. In Miamir's handwriting, a note reads, Tree, runes, stone book of the Druids of Old Sarkoris here. Miamir's note mentions something about a stone book belonging to the Druids of Old Sarkoris. What does that mean? Stone book. Stone books. The Druids of Old Sarkoris used sacred trees as books. They carved their secret knowledge on the bark. When the demons came, the Druids resorted to a dark ritual that turned the trees into stone, and the Druids themselves into undead, doomed to guard their stone library grove forever. But that happened far from here, in the stone wilds. Is it possible that's where Miamir went? Or maybe she found one of those trees somewhere nearby? I don't know. Alright, go to the Defender's Heart. Those who are ready to fight back are gathering there. The city still fights. Why, that's incredible news. We will go to our sanctuary guarded by our order brothers and sisters. We will bring them to the Defender's Heart. Knights of the Flaming Lance have joined the Crusaders. Good. Very good. No, we don't want to. I will remain here for now, wandering the city while it's under attack. So we have to take him to the tavern. Yeah, let's not do that yet. Let's explore this place a bit. Temples of Iomidae, Father Lorian's Guide for Neophytes. Traveler, if the road ever takes you to the outskirts of Kenabres, do not shy away from taking a few more steps and entering the city proper. Apart from the ramparts and the fortifications that stand unshaken, barring the path of humanity's foes, and the noble orders that keep their watch against the forces of evil, Genabris holds a treasure of different sort. In days of old, in the fire and the upheaval of the Second Crusade, it became the site for the first and most crucial of the Wardstones. Sacred obelisks that have the power to avert a demonic scourge, no matter how accursed it may be. No evil creature can pass betwixt two such stones that now stand along the edge of the whirlwind and shelter the peace of all Golarion. Even vile demonic magics are powerless against them, for the abyss cannot cross the unseen curtain of the Wardstones. Should you arrive at the right time and be virtuous and respectful towards those who guard the Wardstones, you shall be granted the great honor of sharing in one of the rituals that support the magical strength of that holiest obelisk. This artifact and the spells inverted in it are most sacred, for every Wardstone was raised by the herald of Yomidai himself, the closest of your servants, one who is selflessly devout to the Inheritor's cause and the Crusaders' great mission. And even if you cannot reach the Wardstone, do honor Yomidai's splendor in one of Genabris' churches and pay thus your respects to the humankind's protector and the sacrifices made by the Crusaders for the good of our world. Alrighty.
Is that a trap? It might be a trap.
Nah, it's gonna be fine.
I heed the voice of the spirits.
Knowledge World 25, eh? Who is gonna do this test? Wolfie.
Well?
I'm here. Where else would I be?
Check failed. Damn it! This is a statue of a lean man dressed in wizard's robes. You do not recognize his face. Can we take the test again? Someone else.
Soot is restless. I wonder why.
Are we in trouble yet?
No. Aw. Magic essence. Quarterstaff. Quarterstaff of Coercion. This +1 quarterstaff adds +1 to the DC for all will saving throws against spells the wielder casts. I wonder if it works with hexes as well. Let's give our dear...
Yes?
Let's give it to our dear Ember here. The atomization is very good in this game. Like even in early game like this, there are so many interesting items. If only Diablo 4 could take a hint. This atomization reminds me of Diablo 1 or Diablo 2. Not quite, but similar. Like not similar, it gives me that vibe. Like simple, right? you got your damage here and then you have the affixes, but simple but interesting, you know? I hope it works with hexes as well. Let's give it to her. I'm too bored to go test it out, but all her offensive, or at least from what I've seen so far, many of the offensive curses, hexes are will-based save. So, and they have a DC saving. I don't see anything about DC here. But there is a will save, so they have DC, I guess. Yeah, let's have her keep the longbow at as a backup, but I hope this works for hexes. It clearly says will saving throws, but spells. Don't know if hexes count as spells. Whatever. What else? Are we done here? Yes, we're done. Let's check this out. Stunning barrier. Field provides a +1 deflection bonus to AC and a +1 resistance bonus on saves. All these deflection bonuses will become obsolete when we get rings of deflection at some point. Especially the +1 and 2s. 1 resistance bonus on saves. Any creature that strikes you with a melee attack is stunned for 1 round. Once the field has stunned an opponent, the spell is discharged.
It is laid as directed.
The bookcase is full of texts describing demons and methods of fighting them. Regrettably, all this knowledge wasn't enough to save Kenabres from the spawn of the abyss. Knowledge Arcana.
This is how it was meant to be.
Ember will take that,
no one bar our path.
I heed the voice of the spirits. This war must end. Maybe I did something wrong here?
The enormous black rift cuts the library in half. It goes so deep that one can only wonder who could have possibly wreaked such destruction and how. Damn it.
Yes?
I'm not gonna save scam the checks. It is what it is. The great library of Kenabres has been ravaged and wrecked in the most barbaric way. It seems that someone took perverse pleasure in smashing lamps and furniture and tearing pages out of books.
I fear nothing.
Oh, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh shit. Fuck. What was that? The game has bugged out. What happens? Hello? A big cat with wings. I hope that beast doesn't bring what's left of the building down on our heads. Oh, hello. 8 max dexterity. Slimy skin. Where did this thing go though?
So be it.
Can we go across somehow?
I shall carve a
Can't
path
hide from
if need
me.
be. It is late.
I guess not. What was that thing, man? Don't understand.
This is how it was meant to be. Let no one bar our path.
I will help where I can.
What haven't we read? Newest to oldest. How to make money during the war against demons. My mentor and training partners used to feel sorry for me. I had enough power to summon and hold a lesser imp at best. Would you call that real magic? Ha! But there's nothing a smart lad like me can't use to stake out his reputation and make his fortune. There's one particularly nasty sort of demons called abricandilus. They are made of the souls of vandals and destroyers of art. In demon form, they continue to do the same. When they see beautiful pictures and statues, they fly into a rage and desecrate them. I once overheard a conversation on the street between two art collectors. They couldn't decide whether they should patronize a young and promising artist or a famous maestro whose best days were behind him. So I made them an offer. How about we place the two paintings side by side and I'll summon an abricaldilu. Whichever painting it attacks first would naturally be the most beautiful. The key was to banish the demon in time before it destroyed the painting, but that wasn't going to be a problem for me. The collectors agreed to run this experiment according to my plan, and thus my legacy began. 3 months later, not a single art event could do without me and my demon servant. We were invited to exhibition openings, appraisers, workshops, and auctions. The more the enraged the demon became on seeing another carving or slapdash daub, the higher its price soared, and they paid me well for my appraisal. I often staged artist battles in which the demon would choose which of two paintings it despised most, and the tickets sold like hotcakes. However, there was one unfortunate incident. A gnome and an elf came to me from Absalom, two young bright-eyed artists. They wanted to enter one of these battles, but they offered peculiar sculptures instead of paintings. The gnome had a huge pile of nibbled apples preserved by a spell. The elf had a watering can without any holes, which stood on a cart with one squirrel wheel. This, as they explained to me, was modern art. It was, how did they put it, unconventive, or some such thing. They claimed it was popular in Absalom, where the gnome and the elf were very famous artists. Well, my job is simple: to display them, their works, gather an audience, and release my demon from its prison. And that's precisely what I did. But the demon came out of his cage, looked at the apples and at the watering can with the cart, and then looked at me like I was a complete idiot, turned around and went back to its cage with an expression of utter disappointment. It was nearly an intentional scandal. I was so upset that I even returned the money for the appraisal to the gnome and the elf. But it's alright. My business still thrives even without the Absalom clientele. Meanwhile, where are my more talented fellow apprentices? Half are still crouched over books, learning what they can. The other half went off to those ridiculous crusades and perished. They never considered that demons can be used to make money, and a lot of it. I think I'll soon buy myself a little palace and cover its walls with the works of all the most famous artists. Ha! Alright. The Varisian Horror. In spite of the weather and the priest's weak protests, Rigor had no intention of stopping. If his suspicions were correct, the evil that settled in the village many years ago had to be stopped as soon as possible. The local priest, whom Rigor and Mogra had approached for help in their quest, was alarmed that these strangers were accusing someone from his flock and decided to tag along so that he could defend the innocent should the need arise. Ascending the broken stairs leading up to the ancient crypt atop the hill, Rigor quietly pulled out his blade and hid it under his soaked cloak. Once the two got to the hewn stone that served as a sacrificial altar, he spotted the gravedigger. Despite the late hour and the violent storm, he was digging a shallow grave. Before Rigor had the time to intervene, the priest, prompted by a desire to clear the hermit of suspicion, went straight toward the massive, misshapen figure. The gravedigger turned his head and, at the first sight of Rigor and Mogra, started moving with speed that didn't match his proportions. He leaped far forward and the shovel cut through the cold autumn air, striking the priest's head. Pieces of skull and bloody scraps spattered forth, and the gravedigger, letting out an unintelligible roar, lunged at the outsiders. Mogra, who had already raised her hands, froze in terror. The gravedigger's gaping mouth was filled with dozens of rows of sharp, needle-like teeth, and the sorceress' weakened mind was struck by a murky stream of abhorrent blasphemy in an otherworldly tongue. Rigor, however, had kept his composure. Dodging to the side, he slashed the corpulent body, as if cutting open a rotten, bloated shell. With a wet smack, the gravedigger's neck and chest burst open, revealing to the mortal eyes the beast's true form, one of a foul worm whose sickening body was now gushing in coils out of the now useless human frame. The cemetery keeper was an abominable, verm-like demon, created from the souls of despicable scum that, in life, used to defile graves and disturb the deceased in the vilest of ways. After rising from the bowels of the abyss and invading Golarion, he and his kind are always drawn to places that used to excite the minds and fantasies of their progenitors. Without a shadow of a doubt, expecting nothing in return. The life and feats of Lord Auxiliar Tresbot. Neuroscience Cruciform Cathedral Publishing House. Frowning, Lord Tresbot made a gesture for his people to halt. Everyone froze, no one dared to disobey his order, even one given with his eyes alone. Lord Tresbot loved to say that he could only win when his whip frightened his soldiers more than the demon's claws, and he succeeded like no other in enforcing discipline. The Lord approached what we took for a scarecrow from afar, left in the middle of the wasteland by an unknown farmer. Pricking it with his sword, the Lord made us a sign to approach. It was the body of a young crusader, a boy not 20 years old, horribly broken, disemboweled, with shards of bone sticking out and shreds of skin dangling in the wind. Horror watched us from the stake, eye sockets filled with worms. A contemptuous smirk crossed the Lord's face. "Coward," he said through his teeth. "Fled from the battle. The demons caught him and he surrendered without a fight. And here are his useless fellows." The Lord kicked an inconspicuous bump under his feet, and it rolled, revealing an open helmet's visor with greenishly grey mass inside, swarming with insects. We shivered and looked down, realizing the ground underneath our feet was a mix of shards of metal and pieces of flesh. "Cowards," the Lord said again. "Cowards and weaklings. They were doomed even before they approached the Worldwound. They should never have left their comfortable homes. What did they achieve? They delivered the demons a hot lunch, that's all. Let's go. While the slugs waste their useless lives, someone has to win this ridiculous war." Without turning away or heeding the disgusting crunching sound underneath his feet, he strode forward. We hurried after him, trying not to step on anything that was until recently a part of someone's body. Alrighty. Let's take Mr. Storyteller and go back to the tavern. Unfortunately, I don't want to leave him here because I will have to return. Oh, maybe he knows something about the griffin. There was a griffin statue here. It suddenly came to life and flew away. Do you know anything about it? The griffin stood in this library for decades, but only today did he take flight. Why? I do not know, but I'm glad his ancient slumber came to an end. The elf smiles at his thoughts. He's glad that his ancient slumber came to an end. He has a long story behind him, and yet the real tale is only just beginning today. No, I will not reveal his secrets. I think your paths will cross again, so you can ask him yourself. What the fuck, is he a prophet? He knows the future too. Let's take him to the Defender's Heart. Please accept my sincere thanks once again. And if I may, please don't rush. I will struggle to keep up with your young legs. We're wasting time with this back and forth, and I'm getting... I'm a bit nervous about time passing. Bring the Storyteller to Defender's Heart. The old elf, known as a Storyteller, almost died in the ruins of the Blackwig Library. He is willing to help the Crusaders if they bring him to safety, and the only safe place left in Gennabra is the Defender's Heart. Why is Halrun not here? If this is he's guarding that chasm or whatever. But what is he doing out there alone with 3 other people? He's the fucking governor of the city. And he's out there exposing himself to such danger, like, while everybody's staying here. I don't know. It feels a little too uncoordinated. Like, shouldn't be. Like, They have Mrs. Lesbian Irabeth here being in charge of this, let's say, temporary headquarters, or the last, how should I put it? It seems like, since we are holed up here in the tavern, it's like we have nowhere else to go, right? In the city, for now at least. Why isn't fucking Halrun here? He's the leader of the city. Not this... where is he? Not this lesbian orc. Right? He should be here giving directions, and she should be out there doing stuff. Right? That's what I think. Anyway. We're here now. So, where is the storyteller? Let's talk to the lesbian first. Nothing. Alright. Let's talk to the storyteller. The blind elf looks better than he did in your last encounter. His clothes are clean and his pale face has some color. The elf turns to you and listens closely. Is that you, my savior? I recognize your footsteps. Determined footsteps befitting a determined person. I just used the teleport mod. Allow me to thank you again for saving me. Please accept this humble gift as a token of my appreciation. The elf hands you a small black ring with 2 scarlet runes on it. You can't see what it is though. Irabeth has explained why you were looking for me. I warned the authorities of Kenabres that the local wardstone had been desecrated. They waved off my warning and paid for their inaction. I have examined many wardstones, but only in the one guarding Kenabres did I sense a flaw. A spot of corruption inside. Spot of corruption inside, eh? A vulnerability the demons will surely use. They are able to spread the blight inside the wardstone, corrupt it, and make it their weapon. It frightens me to think what it will be capable of. The wardstone must be destroyed. Not healed, destroyed. Who are you and why did they let you examine the wardstone? The elf smiles faintly. I'm the storyteller. Just an old elf, and a bit more. I'm old even for an elf. I've seen many things and have been to many places. Not so long ago I witnessed the making of a young kingdom in the Stolen Lands, led by a remarkable and promising individual. My advice on the complicated matter of conquering those lands proved useful to that leader. That was about Kingmaker, I think. This is not uncommon for me. Some seek my advice or services, and I don't refuse. This is how I acquired my reputation as an old vagrant who's never hurt anyone, stayed out of other squabbles, but sometimes gave good advice. I had a few friends in Nerocean who vouched for my integrity. I don't remember what this is. The capital of the Crusader state. I always forget so many names, man. Okay. Capital of the Crusader state of Mendel. I need to make a mental note about this and remember this for now on. Okay. This is why my humble request to be allowed to see the wardstone was granted. I visit all of them, but I only found cause for alarm in Kenabres. Do you wield some special magic power, some instinct? The storyteller chuckles. Yes, to a certain extent. But it is more of a gift. I can see the past, stories that have happened. I touch an object and shreds of its owner's memories are revealed to my mind. Their emotions, passions and tragedies. I see visions like I am them, and their stories happen to me. This is my power. I've been roaming the world gathering such stories for many thousands of years. Ah! One day I will gather them all. What blight is concealed in the Wordstone? I'm afraid I don't have the answer to your question. To understand the nature of this blight, we need to understand how the Wordstone was created. And it is hidden from me. I can only guess. Have you heard of the Red Morning Massacre? A dreadful morning, remembered with fear even by those not yet born at the time. A demoness called Minago invaded the city with a crowd of her followers and started to do what demons do best, kill and desecrate. They say they covered the Wordstone with pieces of dead bodies, splashed it with blood from top to bottom. Could such an abomination darken the radiance of the gift of Yomidai herself? The locals think this is impossible, but who knows? It was not the last attack. Many demon leaders brought their unholy forces here. Even the terrifying Baldur, oh my god, the name, Khorramshahdeh. The Baldur Khorramshahdeh is one of the Skari's most powerful generals, but his personal might is not the only reason why he poses such a threat in combat. They call him the Whirlwind Strategist, for he is the shrewdest general among demonkind. Not too long ago, he oversaw one of the most successful assaults on Kenabres and nearly destroyed the Wordstone. An achievement that only Lord Deskari himself was able to claim in the end. I think Balors are... there are demon lords, like Deskari, like or Baphomet or whatever, and then they are what they're called. There are some demon lords, nascent demon lords that don't rule over. They don't, like demon lords are like kings in the abyss. They rule over, let's say, they have a dominion. Nascent demons are a bit below in the hierarchy, but they are demigods as well. Demon lords are not gods, but they I don't think they can compare. Maybe the strongest of demon lords, from what I've read, the strongest demon lords are actually like gods in power. They all have stats, so they can't be killed, but they have some absurd, like 37 or something like that, 38, 39 mythic. Or something like that. But they can't be killed. Gods can't be killed. For example, Asmodeus doesn't have stats, so it can't be killed. So yeah. And then we have Balors. Balors, like this one, the Baldur Khorramshahdeh, for example, they are very, very, very powerful, supposedly. Below demon lords and nascent demon lords, but still very. It's, I would say, would they compare to angels? Balors. I think. I don't really know, but I think nascent demon lords are stronger than angels, for example. I don't think angels are as powerful as nascent demon lords. Balors certainly are below angels in power, I would say. Anyway, let's move on. So it was not the last attack. Many demon leaders brought their unholy forces here. Even the terrifying Baldur, the Baldur Lord and Baldur demon here. Their attacks were rebuffed, but they still reached their target. I think this is when the seed of corruption was planted in the stone. I wouldn't have grown on it wouldn't have grown on its own, but the Scary himself has now come to take advantage of this weakness, to open the abscess that has been festering for years, unnoticed by the people of Kenabres. And when the Demon Lord struck the blow, the weakened stone gave in. Now it's in demon hands, and nothing is stopping them from spreading the blight throughout the entire stone, and from it to the other stones along the whole perimeter of the Worldwood. At least demons have a plan. Mortals here are partying and drinking beer in a fucking tavern. Clearly the demons win in the initiative department. Why did you travel to the Wordstones? I tried to see their stories. The visions I had when I touched the Wordstone were unclear. I saw hundreds, maybe thousands of different stories at the same time. They followed each other like flashes of lightning. It was impossible to separate them. I couldn't understand where one of them ended and the next began. I have heard you, Storyteller. In that case, you must make every possible effort to destroy the corruption. Unfortunately, I don't know where to get an instrument powerful enough to banish it from the Wordstone. As far as I know, there is nothing like it in Kenabres, but the demons might have something. So, destroy the corruption. Find an item powerful enough to banish it from the Worldstone. Demons might have it. I heard the dying roar of Torendelev, the silver dragon, the protector of the city. At the same time, I felt a wave of unfamiliar power sweep over me from head to toe. I would advise you to go to where Torendelev perished and search there for something. I'm sorry I can't be more specific, but intuition and a strange sense of rightness tell me to point you there. So again, into the market square. At the same time, when the dragon died, felt a wave of unfamiliar power. I would advise you to go there. Present a purple stone knife. Oh! Oh, so we have the item. Maybe this is it. The item I was wondering about, why am I carrying this? Excuse me. I found it in the square where Torendelev perished. What do you make of it? The storyteller reaches out and says softly, "Even from here I can feel strange energies emanating from this object. If you don't mind, I will examine it, using my method. I will try to see the past of its owner, their emotions, and shred of their memories. Maybe it will help us better understand what we are dealing with." Finally, a person that we can count on. The storyteller, like all the other people I have met here, are clueless. Like they don't know what they're doing. They are petty. They are lesbians. They are gay. They are idiots. Like whatever the fuck. Arrogant, weird. This is the only person that inspires. Inspires respect and like follow his lead, you know, and take orders from. So yeah. The storyteller touches the knife, his fingers clamping around the hilt with a hungry, masterful grip. His face contorts into an evil grimace, his voice disgustingly raspy. Hunger, my many legs bring me to the lair, to my mother's feasting hall. Her soul and body, overfilled with food, is so huge that I have to look at it with all of my eyes at once. On top is her scrawny little head with a long beak that is always yearning for more food. You feel feverish, and your chest, where the mysterious wound is concealed, feels hot. Your mind is flooded with a wave of visions, visions that repeat the words of the old elf. Mother greets me with a placid screech, stupid, greedy wretch, whose only achievement is my birth. A creeping, wingless creature. It's your fault I have no wings, a symbol of greatness, a birthright I should have received from my mighty father. Mother points me to a crowd of whimpering subjects, suggesting I fortify myself with their pathetic flesh. Not today. I summon my spawn, and they fly to me, enveloping me in a teeming cloud. Like dark buzzing wings, they unfold behind my back and lift me up. Mother has always been stronger, but she did not expect this. I dive on her and rip her limp, bloated body with my claws. Ichor splatters. The bone spurs on my heels sink into her flesh. I clench her pitiful tiny head and tear it off along with the shreds of meat. Victory! I am the strongest. I am the son of my winged father. The elf grimaces with disdain. His voice becomes normal again. Appalling. Stories like that are the most difficult ones to keep with me. Oh, I like the story. Keep going though. Did this knife belong to a demon? The storyteller opens his mouth to answer, but a sudden spasm crosses his face. A new vision, a much stronger one, engulfs the old elf. The malevolent undertones vanish from his voice as it grows more determined and tired. Even looking at the wardstone is difficult. Despite the corruption nesting in it, it still has an aura of strength. Your fingers clench the stone hilt so tight it hurts. A little spot on the flawless surface of the wardstone draws your attention. It looks like a butterfly. Corruption in the guise of something utterly harmless. But it will grow. You swing and stab the butterfly with a knife as hard as you can. Your fingers cramp painfully. A howl invades your ears. Light. White light everywhere. The stone knife falls from the old elf's hand. Out of breath, he drops to his knees. He is trembling, the terror on his face so unlike his usual dignified manner. What was that? That was not the past. That was something that is yet to happen. Or rather, might happen. One of the roads to the future. In one of the possible futures, this item will help you to cleanse the wardstone or to destroy it. You feel a longing to take the stone chisel and plunge it into your chest, right into the wound that has opened up in it. It is hard to resist this feeling, but at the last moment your self-preservation instinct takes over, and you manage to keep control of your own hands. What the fuck? The old man stands up. He looks completely stunned. Never before has anything like this happened to me. But how? I'm not an oracle or a prophet, or is this another riddle from the past that has caught up with me? I must find out. Seeing stories that have happened is one thing, but seeing stories that are yet to happen. I don't know why this is happening now, but there is one thing I'm sure of. This is not a coincidence. This is a sign of coming changes, great changes. I shared your vision, and this knife tempted me. Did you see what I saw? This has never happened before. Could it be the magic of the object that you brought me? I sense dark energies in it that can cloud and charm the mind. Be careful with this item. It may have tried to influence you, but you managed to overcome its power and subdue it. Or perhaps something else happened to us, something we don't yet understand. Can you see the future? I don't know. Obviously I can, but nothing like this has ever happened to me before. The future never opened its secrets to me before I met you. Gods, who are you and why have our paths crossed? I feel this is not a coincidence. Something momentous is happening. Destiny is pushing us towards something. But what? Questions without answers. I swear, this morning I couldn't have imagined what awaited me. Maybe it's the knife that gives you the power of divination. This knife is a powerful artifact, but I feel that its power is of different nature. No, I felt the same as I do when I tell the past. This is my gift, but manifested in a completely abnormal way. Is what you saw destined to happen? No, the future is not set. It used to be, a long time ago when the god Aroden guarded Golarion. But not now. Prophecies do not come true, or they do, but not the way they were supposed to. I only saw one version of the future, one of the paths leading to it, but the choice has not been made, and our destinies are not set in stone. Who were you in your vision? I don't know. Someone strong and desperate enough to resort to extreme measures. I felt that what I was doing had to be done. Dude, your powers are amazing. A few minutes ago I would have agreed with you, but the thing that has just happened, it disturbs me. My gift has never manifested like this. Something has changed, and these changes frighten me. Alright, this is kinda a lot to take in for now. We'll stop here and we'll return to this next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye. Take care.